What's up guys, YST here and welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today, for the final time of 2022, we have got Nub Raids on the channel. How's it going, bro?
It's good, it's good. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to everybody.
Yeah, you got the man bun up. He's ready to rock and roll. Look at him.
I do.
No messy hair today.
No. I didn't have a shower this morning, so I was like, man bun it is. Let's go.
But yeah, guys, I did see one of your guys' comments. I can't recall exactly who it was. And they were like, they're going to rage quit if we don't see a final collab from me and Nubs. And we've probably done, how many do you think, over the past year?
Like, oh, wow.
I don't know. I've got no clue.
Over 10, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely over 10. I think maybe one every 2 weeks or so. But yeah, it's been really cool to meet you anyway and become friends with you. So it's been one really cool thing that's come out of 22 for me.
100%.
But all right, today in terms of the final video of this year, we're going to be breaking down a tier list, but take it with a grain of salt. It's just our personal standpoint on these things. And we're going to be talking about every single content in this game as of today, so not the future, and how we kind of grade them in, are they developed well? Would we change anything about them? And what kind of things we want to see changed in the near future? So we kind of got like a beautiful artboard along the bottom here. And I'll let you kind of choose. Where do you want to kind of go first and place on the board? I know a few of them are blocked, but I'm sure you'll be able to guess what you can ask.
I'm start top left, whatever that is behind
whatever
you.
That is. All right, so the first one is going to be the portal. And this is regarding just the shards, all right? So not fusions.
Okay. So, like, does that include summoning events and things like that?
No, we got that separately. So this will just be purely based on the shards, the chances, and the rarities and stuff like that.
I mean, I'd give it probably like an A or a B. I don't know. What do you feel like for this one?
I feel like, do you know what it is? They got 10x events, they got 2x events, but the thing is, I'm just judging off the shards themselves, and I think it does bring a lot of fun to the game.
That's true.
I think it's without the portal, I don't think there'd be a Raid Shadow Legends because that's like the main dopamine, right?
Yeah, you gotta exploit those gambling addictions, right?
I think it deserves an A, but obviously we'll speak about the events and stuff, which is kind of separate to the shards themselves. So I think, I think A is a good one for the portal. All right, where did it go next?
Oh, can I ask you a question? Would you like to see like a new shard type? Like,
I would love to see a new shard type, honestly, and I don't know what I would want it to be. Potentially, I would like to see. It's a pretty tough one. Maybe like a summoning fragment one. I don't know if that's a bad idea, but maybe if you summon an amount of shards, you gather like shards to make this shard as like an extra reward, and then you could summon those to fragment into any of the fragment past fusions. So for any of the ones that you missed out on, you can use a universal fragment system from those shards, or you could just like summon the shards themselves. Maybe, I don't know, but what would you like to see?
Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. I like that. I mean, I think a sacred shard equivalent for void shards is a pretty straightforward one. I think that'd be quite cool.
Oh, that's actually, that's a pretty good one. Just epics and legendaries.
Or maybe like a shard that was just like guaranteed legendary, like a super sacred.
Yeah. I don't even want to ask what the price is going to be on that.
Yeah, you don't want
All right, so the next one we'll go into actually is going to be the Forge. And I think very highly of the Forge in this game. But I want to see what you think before I place this on this board here.
I'd put it in the S tier, honestly.
I would agree.
Yeah.
So what do you like most about the Forge?
I just think that there's so many relevant gear sets, and also you get so many relevant gear sets just from playing the game for free. Like, you do your faction wars, you do Doom Tower, and you're going to get lots of really good gear. There is a paid element now with the Forge Pass, and those gear sets are effectively paywalled, and they're very, very, very good. So that's maybe a bit of a downside for the latter half of the year for me. But on the whole, I still think the Forge for me is S tier.
Yeah, when it first came into the game, I felt like everyone was underwhelmed. They're like, what is this? But then I think now that it's grown onto me, I feel like this is actually one of the best places in the game. Because if you think about when we first started, if we had the Forge and Perception gear back then, we would have been flying through content, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like for players coming in now, to be able to have accessibility to the Forge just from doing faction wars, etc., I think it's a great addition to the game, right? 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so where do you want to go next? We'll take turns.
Oh, the one that's behind you again.
Oh, you go for the mystery factor, Christmas.
Yeah, it's a mystery factor.
So we got the Great Hall.
Oh, okay. Oh,
it's got the Christmas vibe, so you probably can't see what it looks like on the picture.
No, yeah. For me, the Great Hall, I'm gonna put that in C. I'm going all the way down, man.
You're going to the C tier. So what is your problems, I'm guessing, with the Great Hall?
So my problem with the Great Hall is that it's just a lack of innovation, right? It's just you play the game for ages, you keep grinding, and you build it up. I mean, that's fine, but I'd love to see some catch up, some alternative ways to get Great Hall medals, like
Yes.
just those, let's say, typical arena tournaments. It'd be really cool if you get some Great Hall medals for people to catch up. Obviously, people have been playing for a long time. I'm not there yet, but when you finish the Great Hall, people want at least something to spend those medals on. So I think it's just, it's a fine feature. It's cool, but it's just been unchanged. So I think for the end of 2022, I'm like, it's a C. This is something needs to be improved.
Yeah,
really.
I'd say it's a needed feature. Like, I love having it in the game because those bonus stats are huge. But in terms of, as you're saying, innovation and including a vast majority of the game modes into the Great Hall and not just put into the classic arena only, is definitely where we're seeing a bigger issue, because players coming into the game now, it's going to take them 3 years or 2 years to even think about maxing this thing up, which is good for longevity. But at the same time, there's that catch-up thing where there's nowhere else in the game. And if you're struggling with arena, or if you don't like it, there's no other way to like boost your champion stats. So I feel like it definitely needs to change. But I'd say somewhere between C and B, but I think top of C for now.
Fair.
We'll just kind of leave it there for now.
Sure.
All right. Next up, we're going to go for the Altar of Souls, a new feature that we actually had this year. I'll say where I would kind of guess it, and you can kind of counter that.
Sure.
I would actually say it's I don't know. Actually, this is pretty hard. I'm going to put it B for now. I think it sits right in the middle for me.
I was going to put it there too.
I think it adds that element of fun. I personally love the Iron Twins Fortress, but we'll speak about that boss separately. That's a different equation. But being able to, as you're saying, with the innovation style thing, we can get the fragment stuff from the Iron Twins. We can get it from the Hydra boss. It's a fun way of doing RNG without buying shards, although you can buy the shards for this as well. But it's just that thing that I look forward to towards the end of the week. You've done your Hydra boss, and then here's your rewards. And I actually love the blessings in this game, honestly. Like, all of the ones for the clan boss, the brimstone to take down Doom Tower bosses more efficiently. And I feel like the blessings for PvE content, not just PvP, is actually game-changing. Because think about trying to take down Soroth the Ice Spider, whatever his name is, or Bommal. Stuff like Brimstone just makes those bosses 10 times easier, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that made me put it like down in B, some of the negatives, in terms of the blessings, I do think that unfortunately there's quite a lot of blessings that are just bad, right? There's a bunch that you'd never take.
Yeah.
So I think that sucks. I think there needs to be another balance pass on the blessings to make a lot of them a lot more appealing, so there's more interesting choices. Like there's just really dominant ones for each tier. So I think that's a bit of a pity.
Yeah, it is a bit of a pain, honestly, because even when you think about, like, loads of them is like, oh, deal more damage with poison, and then it says in arena, and then you're like, why?
Yeah.
Like, we could have used this everywhere, and it would have been so cool for like poison explosion teams or something.
And it's not even useful in arena either. It's terrible. So
yeah, the downside why I put it in B personally was well, I say we get a good view if you're end game, but I feel like for me personally, I farm Iron Twins every single day. I do all of my keys. Well, not the extra 6, but just the 6 by themselves. And I've never had an Eternal Soulstone since it's come out. So I feel like, I don't know, for me it's a bit discouraging knowing that I'm using all of this energy, I'm summoning all of these Soulstones, I'm doing Hydra every week, and then I'm just not getting, not even one Eternal Soulstone. It could just be down to me getting bad luck and RNG from my summons, but I don't know.
Nah, like the rewards are just low. I mean, I think at the very least they should just double all the Iron Twins drop rates just by default, and that's a good start. But yeah, the drop rates are definitely the other thing. It's like more shards, more fun. Let's go. It takes like 2 years to get, or a year plus to get a 6-star thing, saving up. It's fine if it drops more. Plarium, come on.
All right, so are you going behind me again?
Yeah, I think I know what it is.
Okay, so it's going to be the marketplace.
Oh,
should I just put it? Yes, it's going to be F2. Yes, it will be F2. So the marketplace, why do you hate it? Like, what's your personal standpoint on it?
Like, it's just a trap, right? Like refreshing the market, it's a trap. Buying any of the gear on the market, it's a trap. It's just bad. It's just giving you options that are all exclusively bad. The ancient shards are like the main good thing out of it, 5 a month, and then like picking up some green shards. But you could just do that as login rewards, like weekly login thank you pack. You log in, hey, week 1 of the month, you get 3 ancients. Thanks for playing. Next week, 50 50 green shards. Thanks for playing. And
Yeah.
and you get all of the benefits of the market without having it there. You could just remove it from the game
Mhm.
and nobody would care. It's just
It's
a
true.
disaster.
They need, do you know, they need to entice players to want to spend that 5 gems on the refresh. And right now, there's like, you're refreshing to buy a mystery shard for your daily quest, and it shouldn't be that way, in my opinion. So I think the way that it should be is there should be potential, maybe like a void shard in there. They've got the forge in the game. Like, bring in some of those forge pieces or forge materials, or I don't know, there's just so many elements like clan gold maybe, or bazaar shop coins. Like, it's not as if it's free, right? You still got to have to spend resources in silver, which is another thing that's hard to get in this game. And I think it just needs to be exciting. Like, when you click in there, you want to be excited for what's in there today. Not some 4-star common speed boots with like HP main stats. So
Yeah.
it definitely does. It's just outdated, right? It's like really
100%,
2019. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to spice it up a little bit. I'm going to throw you under the
Oh.
bus. Sand Devil's Necropolis. How do you feel about this one?
Ooh, okay. Is this just like the dungeon itself, or are we including artifact ascension?
So everything that comes along with this. So that's
Oh.
what. So I've done dungeons as a separate one. This is purely just Sand Devil's Necropolis and what it brings to the
Okay.
table. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yikes. That's a tricky one.
But as of today, I'm not saying for like for the future. Like, what's your standpoint on it as of now? How hard it is for players to get to, the level caps that people have to reach to play it. Do you feel like that's suited and stuff like that?
This is such a tricky one. My inclination is to put it in B for me.
Okay.
I'm curious whether you think it's better or much worse than that.
I think it's going to be a needed thing. I think when they said for the future of endgame content, and if you think about this being already endgame content, and 99% of the player base struggling already with this, it shows how much the value of these new artifact ascensions are going to be vital to reach the stats to beat the endgame boss, whatever that may be in the future. But my downside is, it's just for the people that's hitting the early floors, you have to spend hundreds of energy to be able to do one tiny little boost on a stat, and that alone is really like hard to do, right? So I feel like it's an energy drainer. I feel like you're not getting enough resources for your resources that you're putting in. But once they change that, I think it'll be a pretty cool thing. As I believe that we should have some harder bosses in the game. Keeps our minds ticking, makes us want to come up with fun compositions. So I think that's fresh for the game. That's a good plus. But I don't know. For me, I'm not really a huge fan of it. As of now, it's not something that I'm like excited to play. I've just got like a Godseeker Inari duo with a ninja. And just whenever I'm bored, I just throw a couple runs on. But I'm never like, ooh, Sand Devil's Necropolis today. Let's go. But let us know, guys, in the comment section. How do you feel about this? Do you think it's too costly? Do you think that your rewards aren't enough? I'm interested to know. But anything else you want to say on this, on the Sand Devils?
Yeah, I mean, you can move it to C if you want. Like, I'm totally okay with that because the rewards are very poor.
Yeah, I feel like B because I feel like it's gonna be essential. But do you know that re-rolling system? I feel like that needs to change. Because once you put a stat on, let's just say you put it on a glove and you get some rubbish stats, there's no way to use the same resource again to re-roll it. And I think that's a little bit weird, honestly.
Yeah. If we're including artifact ascension, I definitely move it down to C. There's, like you said, there's so many issues with artifact ascension.
No. What I'll do is I'll leave it in B, but whatever comes above this, I'll leave it at the bottom.
That's fair. Yeah. I will say the things I do like about the dungeon. I've enjoyed actually doing the dungeon. I think there's actually been I was very annoyed with it at the start. I didn't like it because like a lot of the sleep champions were kind of traps. I think that's definitely a downside for me. Is that sleep as a mechanic? There's so few viable sleep champions for it. I think the two I've really seen work well are Muckstalker and Hellhound, like the rare and the common. But to be fair to it, there have been actually quite a large variety of teams and team comps for taking it down, and that has actually been kind of fun to see people theory crafting. So that is what I've liked about it, is like the different styles of teams you can build. But yeah, I feel like it like you said, you covered a lot of the big negatives. There's a lot of big negatives.
It's got potential, I'd say. I'd say they kind of rushed into it, in my personal opinion. I feel like they should have waited until the new year, made sure that everything was tested properly, all the bugs were fixed, and then release it properly, right? But I feel like it was rushed and they're just changing things on the spot, like Nogdar's one-shotting him in 2 seconds and stuff like that. So
I didn't mind that bug. I thought like, hey, that's
Oh,
something
I
that
was, I
slip
was,
through, you know.
I was up to stage 25 in seconds or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
no, me too. Yeah. But I mean, like, that's a
Yeah,
bug that can happen. It's like, not a big deal, but like the
yeah,
boss ability's not working right and stuff. Like, that's just annoying.
yeah.
Anyway.
All right, we're
Uh,
gonna head into tournaments and events as a
hmm,
kind of duo, and this is gonna be down to, for me personally, I feel like it's too repetitive. I need spicing up. Like
yeah, I agree.
they dabbled into it with the faction only tournaments and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But I feel like the milestone rewards and the kind of stuff that they do where it's top place only and the global leaderboard gets like one ancient shard, and I just feel like there's so much potential to make this fun. Like, give us an Iron Twins tournament, give us a Minotaur's Labyrinth tournament, allow players to go through and farm other areas of the game that's not a dragon, ice golem, spiders, and fire knight, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that needs to be in the game. Now I understand that Iron Twins is hard, but there's no reason why you can't throw in like separate tournaments for end game players as well, or the early game players that just want to participate, or even like a clan boss tournament. Like have it, how many points can you do on the clan boss in terms of damage, and then everybody in the tournament will be like, oh, this guy's got 500 million this week, or you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they could balance it. Obviously, I'm just thinking off the fly. But I feel like it's just getting too repetitive for my liking. But what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think for the positives for events and tournaments this year, they have at least added some sort of new things. Like
Oh,
there's
the
been
hero's
more faction
path.
stuff, the hero's path.
Hmm.
The first one was absolutely awful, but actually a few of them have been quite good, I thought.
Yeah.
I definitely think there's definitely not that much interesting gameplay, however, with the
Yeah,
events and
that's the thing. It's
tournaments.
like they can make a new tournament with new rewards like the hero's path, but it's the same
Yeah,
thing. It's just a different
it's the
format.
same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just like it needs to, I don't know. I'm not telling them to change them forever. Of course, like fusions and
Mm,
stuff, I understand, but there needs to be some sort of
yeah,
like even seasonal stuff. Like, what did we get? You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
every other game
Like
that I've played has had like some sort of lead up and loads of these fun Christmas events or Halloween events. We just got to spin the wheel and nobody won for
I
Halloween.
know, yeah.
So,
Or like the Christmas events in game. It was just Christmas artwork on the event, and it's the exact same event as always.
mhm,
They made a lot of the rewards for the events arguably worse, as
yeah.
well. So I don't know. I feel for me this would be hard capped at B maximum. I'd be tempted to put it in C. I don't know what you think.
I would say it's a hard one because do you know what? Chosen keeps shouting at me because he keeps saying
Yeah.
I don't balance my tier list. So what we'll do is we'll put them on the board for now, and then we'll kind of move
All
them
right.
up and down and even it out later.
Fair.
Yeah. But all right, where do you want to go next? Don't say behind me this time.
Okay. Let's go behind me.
Oh, we got Definite. No, we got fusions and fragment fusions.
Oh, okay.
So, what do you feel about this? So, let's talk about how many times that the fusions pop up, the resources that's needed to do these fusions, and also that long page of fragment fusions that's just sitting there from the past ones, confusing my
Yeah.
brain. So, talk to us. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you touched on a lot of stuff there. That the requirements for the fusion have just gone up, which for me that's a major negative. I don't see why. Like I'm looking at this, I'm going like someone who's been playing the game, let's say for 3 months today, versus someone who's been playing the game for 3 months a year ago or a
Mhm.
year before that. They're all in pretty much the same position. Not that much has changed, yet the requirements to do this stuff has gone up. That just makes no sense. So that's a major negative for me. And especially a lot of these traditional fusions back to back are quite annoying.
Mhm.
The fragment fusions I feel like have been pretty actually good.
Yeah.
And the quality of the fusion champions this year have actually been, I think, pretty good. Um,
So, who was your favorite
but
fusion this year?
oh wow, that's a tough one. Maybe Uko has been
My
quite a
Uko.
game changer for Arena. Yeah, like I do quite like Uko.
Mhm.
Gaius is a ton of fun as well.
Oh, Gaius came out this
Um,
year. He's the strong one.
yeah. So there's been good ones. Like
My
there
favorite
has.
one is actually the one that's up right now.
Yeah, he's cool. I
Yeah.
haven't done too much with him, but he's
I
madness.
I
Absolute
love
mad.
him, man. Do you know, for me, I love quirky kits, and then when he came in, I was like, "This is my cup of tea, man."
Yeah.
I love this dude. He's so cool. But all right.
Yeah.
So I'd say the main thing for me is, do you think that there's too many fusions? Back to back, it's like a fusion, a week break, we release a new fusion, back into it. I feel like it's
Yeah.
not giving enough play time for players to breathe and actually enjoy the champions that they're fusing. in my personal opinion. Because
I agree.
even me, I fuse these champions and half of them are in the vault because I don't have the resources to max them up and try them out because I'm already straight into the next fusion thinking, oh, I'm going to summon this fusion on the next fusion. And it shouldn't be that way in my opinion. I think if you're going for a fusion, you should be excited about it, have time to play with it. And I think maybe even if you want to do a small break, I'd say 3 weeks is healthy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, again, this is an area of the game where it would really benefit to have a different gameplay type, like a different type of event to alternate. So you'd have a fusion 1 month, then the next month you'd have whatever different gameplay type. Like, I don't know, crazy stuff starts happening in the dungeons or the campaign or there's story, actual story in the game, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it can be exhausting.
Yeah.
Just
So
fusion after fusion.
in terms of fusions, would you say C? So we're not speaking about the champions, guys. We're talking about the style of the fusions and how much so everything we just spoke about. Would you agree top of C? Is that way?
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair.
So how would you change it? Would you just say spreading it out, less resources to do them and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely. I think make them less intensive to do. I think, come up with a different
way to do them.
monthly hook. Yeah, a different way to do them. Yeah, like you mentioned, all the fragments that are just sitting there giving away to collect some old fusions and fragments, like even if it's a long-term thing, like something for people to work on. I think there's a lot that they could do to improve it. And yeah, I feel like they've just really been making them worse overall. Because they've not really gotten better. They've just mostly gotten worse over the course of this year.
Yeah.
So
all right. So next up, we're gonna go into the gem mine. And I strongly believe that this should be an S tier category. Would you agree? Or would you put it? The reason being is, yes, we don't get crazy amount of gems, but once you do this initial investment, if you actually sat there and added up how many gems that you've got over the past 3 years, how many do you reckon it'd be? Like,
oh gosh, I have no idea.
I'd say
no clue.
Well, if we just do like maybe let's just say you got 10 gems a day, 365 days a year, 360 a year for 3 years. So let's just say 10,000 gems of the cost of 1,500. And I think for an investment for a long-term player I'd say if you're playing this game for at least more than 6 months, you're getting your investment back, and then from there it's just free resources, right? I would love to see maybe an increase, maybe a level 4 or a level 5. But as it stands, I feel like it's not a bad place in the game. I don't think it's overvalued, and I feel like it should hold the S tier, in my opinion.
Yeah, fair. I put it in A, but I'm happy enough to have it in S as well. The reason I put it in A is just there's not really much gameplay. You just click the thing.
Yeah.
But it's basically just a net positive for the player. I think it's after like 3
shall we
3 months or
agree
something.
top of A?
Yeah, that seems fair. Yeah.
All right. Can we throw an S tier on the board? I'm trying to balance it out a little bit. So which area of the game do you feel is S tier? What do you think they got it right in terms of everything?
I think Doom Tower should be S tier.
I completely agree. Where's the Doom Tower? Let's find it. I had it here somewhere.
It's near me. It's beside Deathmatch. There it is.
It kind of cropped out my images. So Doom Tower, speak to me why you love this, and I'll tell you why I love it as well.
Yep, I just think it's really fun. There's a big variety of bosses. Some of them are great. Some of them are not so great. But it's just something you can come back to it, make more progress every month when you're going through it. Some of the rewards are very, very good. And they've added some nice quality of life as well. Like they've added super rays. They added the auto climb just recently as well to smooth it out and speed it up. So yeah, I actually think that Doom Tower is one of the most enjoyable things to progress in the game.
Yeah, I completely agree because for one, doesn't take resources. So you'd have to use energy or anything like that. For two, very creative bosses. Like, just look at the Dark Fae, the character design, the way it works. I feel like so much innovation went into the Doom Tower bosses. I know that they're very hard with like Bommal and the Dark Fae and all of these bosses, but I feel like that should be in the game. For me, it excites me because if there's something that's hard, it gives you something to strive for, not just, I beat it in 2 seconds and got a sacred shard. I feel like there should be something like that in a game like Raid for longevity. So I really enjoy it. I enjoy the waves and all of that. I feel like the only thing I would change about it is switch the boss rotations up. So maybe put Bommal with the Ice Spider and then put Dark Fae with somebody else and just switch up the 3 rotations that we always get just to spice up everything in between. But apart from that, I think it's a S tier one, 100%.
Yep.
All right, so the next one we're going to go into, we don't have to speak too much about this one. It's going to be clans. So the clan system in this game, what's your kind of thoughts on that?
It's quite basic, really.
Yeah.
There's not much to it at all. I put it in C, yeah. C for clan.
Yeah, C for
It's
clan. I think there's not like obviously we got like a few features in there like the clan shop and stuff like that, but it's nothing
yeah.
clan orientated, right? Like you're not there's nothing to do with each other. It's just you're in the clan together and
Yeah.
I wish there was some sort of maybe some PvP clans only, test our teams against each other, have clan only tournaments which nobody else can see. I just feel like it's healthy for the game, right? And even that, do you know that chat box at the top for like clan?
Yeah.
That needs to change. There needs to be an hub in that clan area where the messages never disappear and it doesn't. Nobody else can see them, and it's just, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's definitely needed in the game as well. But there we go.
There's so much more. There's so much more you could do with clans
Yeah.
and getting people like, having actual things for playing together and doing stuff together. There's very little in the game. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So next up is going to be the campaign.
Oh.
What do you think about the campaign? So not just for us farming it, talk about people's experience coming through the game. Do you think it's immersive? Do you think it's something that people will enjoy, like the storyline and stuff? Or do you think it's a bit underwhelming?
It's underwhelming.
Yeah.
I'd put it in C for campaign.
Do you know what?
You want to put in F?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm going to
that's
put
fair.
it.
I won't fight you on that. I'll
Yeah.
agree.
The reason being is, at the moment, yes, we only farm it for silver. We only farm it to max up our artifacts and stuff or whatever, max up our champions. But it's not enjoyable, right? It's something that we need in the game, but it's not something that is like immersive or amazing or out of this world, right? It's just go in there, farm with your nuka, get a few silver, do your champion training. But
yeah.
I
Like
feel
your buddy wouldn't come over and be like, "Yo, dude, I just played God of War Ragnarok. It was freaking amazing." You're like, "Well, forget about that. Let me tell you about this campaign grinding I've been doing, dude. Oh, quality gameplay right there." No, you wouldn't see that.
You should have seen this. You should have seen this campaign from raidshadowlegends. Download this. Download this mobile game for free now. Get yourself a Ronda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much more they could do with this, and story as well. Like I get this is where they could bring in cool events with some sort of storyline. It doesn't have to be amazing, but like there's a lot of potential there. The story in the game is so basic.
I think that they have got one of the best ways of like making adverts in the whole of the mobile space, right? Or like gaming space. I feel like they could easily do an update and actually make a more animated story mode.
Yeah.
And something that we could look back on as well and watch back, not just that old school notepad thing prologue.
I know, right?
Yeah, I feel like they could easily make that more immersive for people coming to the game and getting excited, right? Like when you're going up against the Mortu Macab for the first time, he's like running at you and stuff before you go into that battle. And also, I'd love to see a nightmare campaign. I know it's probably gonna be really hard, but I think
there is nightmare. But
I mean ultra nightmare campaign.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there needs to be one that's super hard just for us to just like, make us grind our teeth a little bit. But yeah, there we go. F tier. All right. Dungeons. Shall we go to dungeons next?
Okay.
So this one is going to be not Iron Twins, not the Necropolis. This is just purely the 4 classic ones, the Potion Keeps and the Minotaur.
I think I put them in A or B, I guess. Yeah.
I'm gonna say A. I think they did a really good job with the way that they balance dungeons. I feel like, obviously for now, us it gets really repetitive. I understand that, but I feel like for a long time, I feel like it is pretty hard, man. Like think about us trying to reach Spider 20 for the first time and the excitement of beating it for the first time to get Arbiter. I feel like it's kind of balanced in my opinion. I like them. I like the dragon. I like the finite mechanics. They're all different. We've got the potion keeps and rotations, which I don't think should be, but that's kind of why I wouldn't put it S. And then we've got the Minotaur, which needs a bit of work as well. But I think in the grand scheme of things, I think the dungeons are pretty nice in this game, honestly.
Yeah, they are good. They're just apart from the new dungeons, which are
that's why. Yeah, I separated those on purpose for that.
Yeah, but the original ones are good. They just haven't had an update in ages. But yeah, they're very very solid.
Yeah,
it's a good core.
All right, can we throw an F tier into the mix so we can?
Okay.
So is there any from here that you would say F? One that I was thinking, we got referral programs, we got avatars, we got champions, we got the clan shop and quests.
I would put the referral program in F tier.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
I think it's terrible. Like the amount that you need people to play to actually get tangible rewards from it is completely insane.
Yeah.
And like who the heck has 6 actual friends that are gonna install the game off your link and play that long to get 6? Like it's just
I feel like, do you know what? I feel like they put it in the game on purpose.
Yeah.
So players make alt accounts, just to show on their metrics that they've got new players. Honestly,
100%.
that's what I genuinely believe that. I feel like they're just trying to show that we've got this many downloads this month, and it's basically down to the referral program. So I feel like the rewards in it are good, but in order for the like even me, I don't even have one sacred from that yet, and I've been playing 3 years.
No.
So
yeah. Like if they condensed all of the rewards down from having 6 people get all those levels to just one person and you get all that stuff, I'd still say it's actually pretty intense.
Yeah,
you know, like it's like kind of a parody, honestly. The referral.
All right, so where do you want to go next?
Oh, let's talk about Hydra.
I thought so. Talk to us.
Talk about Hydra.
So this is like the main reason for your channel. You came in and just took over the Raid Shadow Legends scene with the Hydra boss. Go on.
I'd probably put it in A, to be fair.
Oh, he's not being biased, guys. I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah.
Top of A?
Yeah, I put it in the top of A. I would. I think there's a lot of fun gameplay there. I think it brings in like a lot of champions that you wouldn't otherwise use, which I think is super fun. I definitely think since they nerfed it, it's been actually pretty solid. And like the lower difficulties, there's a wide variety of tactics and strategies you can use. I think at the higher difficulties, it's more limited, but it is more flexible now. So yeah, I genuinely really like Hydra. I think the problem is that it's very difficult to get into. Like it unlocks really early, and it's just very hard to get into and actually take part in. But as an end game challenge, I think it's really good. I'm biased, but I think it's really good.
Do you know, for me, I actually hated Hydra boss, and you know that as well. But recently, I find myself like, this is the only, like, I don't have an auto team. Maybe one day you can help me out. But in some aspects, I don't want an auto team. And the reason for me is, especially with me doing like full-time content creation, always doing this game, I need something that will just like, you know, it feels like I'm playing a game for once, right? It's like it's the only place in the game where I feel like I don't have to click auto and I can enjoy it. So I'm like timing my skills correct, trying to attack certain heads. And I really enjoyed that. Like last night, I did all 3 of my battles and I really enjoyed it. Like I have to be in the right mindset to do it. But when I've got some time, I really do enjoy like the manual gameplay of it. But on auto, I don't think I'd enjoy it as much, but that's just me. That's just personal. But I love playing it manually, personally.
Yeah, like there's a lot of decision making goes into it. And once you get a really good team, that removes a lot of the randomness. There's still randomness there. It can still mess you up, right? But you get a lot more. You can build it with a lot more control now, which was not something that was true initially.
All right.
It was just very random.
I'm gonna throw a curveball in. What is the number 1 champion for the Hydra boss apart from Krisk?
Acrisia, I think.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to put you on the spot, see what you say.
Yeah.
I thought you'd say necropolis potentially. But
no, he's up there though. He's very good. Yeah. But I'd say Acrisia. Like the damage she puts out, she literally does at least 3 times as much damage as the next best damage dealer, which is mental.
All right, so we've got around 8 left. Let's just quickly talk about avatars. Now, for me, on my perspective, I think avatars are a great addition to the game. They've always been there, but they've started to implement more. I feel like if you're buying a champion skin, right? Because I don't think they should give you an avatar for every champion you pull. That's just stupid. But I feel like if you're buying a skin, it should come along with the avatar every single time, because that adds an extra value. Or if you summon a void legendary, you should get an avatar for free. That's in my, because I feel like that way it's not too many champions, because you can't have like 200 avatars, right? It's just they're everywhere. But I feel like if you pull a void legendary, it should be something special, right? And it's like they're so hard to get anyway. Like, why not just give people the avatar to go along with their void legendary champions that hardly anyone has, like a vast majority of them. But
yeah, I actually love that idea. I think that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Again, make those void Legos feel special. Yeah.
Yeah, it should, like, you summon a void legendary, and even if it's like a trash one, he's like, an avatar will pop out with it, and you feel like you're getting that bonus, and it's pretty cool. But I'd say somewhere around the B tier, I think it's one of the most customizable elements to, like, your avatars and your profile and what you like. And I love how they do the contests where you can win avatars and makes it a bit of a community feeling. So I feel like B is probably a nice place to put avatars.
Yeah. I thought it was good as well that the avatars from the Forge Pass, you get those free to play. Like you do the dailies every day and you can get the avatars. You don't need to pay for them. I thought that was a really nice touch as well.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, I like them.
Yeah. All right. So where do you want to go next? Shall we talk about Classic and Tag Team Arena? We'll start with Tag Team.
Yeah. Tag. Ooh, man.
Are you a fan of it? Because I absolutely dread doing this. I only do it on CVC personally, but
I actually kind of like Tag, man. I actually kind of enjoy it.
Do you know what it is? It's Classic Arena 3 times. So
Yeah.
I feel like there's no
But-
originality to it. Like if it was actually a
Yeah.
tag team arena or some sort of different mechanic where you bring in your champions like 6 each or 8 each, when one dies, one drops out, one comes in, something like that. But I don't know, man. Like, what do you think? Obviously, you think that you like it, so why do you
I
like it?
do. I get the reason I like it compared to classic arena, which is just your best team against their best team,
Mm-hmm.
and there's not really any point in competing or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like with tag, you have a lot more actual real fights, and the thing I like about it is because you have to put up 3 teams, and they have to put up 3 teams.
Mm-hmm.
You tend to see, I feel, more variety in champions and more variety in team types and designs, and you can sort of pick and choose. I feel like there's quite a bit of strategy to it as well.
Yeah.
It's quite like Hydra. It's quite active.
Yeah.
So I like it, but it's got a lot of downsides.
I'm
It's
just
not
gonna listen,
well
Nub.
designed.
Nub, I'm just gonna save you. We're gonna put it in the top of tier, all right?
All right, if you will. Okay.
I'm
I
joking.
would put it higher, but
Where would you put it? And we'll kind of find a middle ground.
I'd put it in the B. I would.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'll put it in between Sun Devils, right? Is that cool?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's kind of
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
thought top of C, you thought top of B, so
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, I just don't feel like it's like the only reason I do it is for CVC points, honestly. And
Yeah.
I just do you know what it is? I don't like the way that it's set up as well. It's like the way that you put your teams with the presets, you make one change and everything messes up. It's just clunky, man.
It is clunky to
It's
be fair.
very
Yes.
clunky. I feel like it needs a lot of work, honestly, to make it. Even if it stays the same, the actual format of being able to enjoy what it is just I don't.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
Yeah. Okay. The thing I like about it is like unless you are paying thousands of dollars and you're gonna fight in platinum at a weird hour of the morning,
Mhm.
like for 99.99% of people, Tag Arena is like the one place you can go to have actual competitive PvP in the game at all.
But
which is
another
kinda
downside
cool.
to that is in platinum we have
Yeah.
platinum avatars, we have platinum trophies. When people are in gold 4 or gold 4 for tag team, there's nothing there. There's no incentive. Like
No,
you beat gold 4 for the first time, and that limit of players is like what 1,500. What is it?
Yeah.
So
it's
I
tiny.
feel like that's a huge achievement to be there, and I feel like players should be getting extra awards for being in that category. But there we go. So all right. Classic Arena. I think it should be somewhere around here.
I put it in C. This is fun. We totally disagree on this stuff. Yeah, I think Classic sucks.
So wait, you would put Classic Arena below
Tag 100%. Yeah, I 100%.
Why do I enjoy Classic Arena? I actually quite enjoy it.
I don't know.
No, wait.
It's just faster.
I think
Tag is very slow.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? I don't know what it is. Do you know what? I think you might be right.
Okay.
You know, I think in hindsight, I think it would be here. Wait, where did you say C?
I said C. Yeah.
Do you know what? I think we should put them next to each other. I don't think any of them should be better than the other. I feel like they both got their flaws. I feel like I don't think you could put one higher than the other, honestly. Not in hindsight.
Let me criticize Classic Arena here. So for Classic Arena, again, there's really very little point in pushing up high for, again, 99.9% of people. It's just sit at the bottom of your bracket, whatever, goal 4, goal 5, and you just free farm with very little thought on the easy defenses, right? There's very little competitive stuff. There's no real interesting way to compete or reason to compete or have proper fights. There is platinum. I think the rewards for platinum are pretty underwhelming. And I also think that platinum is just it's a Kraken's playground, which is not something that appeals to me at all personally. I know people disagree with that, but I don't like that. I think there could be so much more with both types of arena. It's something I'd hope to see with the arena reworks coming up next year, like interesting tournaments and events, like with cool rewards and maybe cool challenges to do, like use teams from specific factions only. And, you know, like they could do really creative stuff like rare champions only, like this week or something. Like they could do some really wacky, fun stuff.
If they do that stuff, though, they need to do it in a way where it's a separate game mode.
Yeah,
because right now it's like you got a rare tournament, but you're still facing legendary champions. So it needs to be like you need to have. There needs to be like an opt-in system. Like, do you want to participate in this tournament? Yes, yes, no. When it starts, you can't go into it. Like you've been given your shot. You're into this now. You're locked in with these players, and you all go at it. And I feel like that would be really fresh. But I do agree, the rewards are a pile of rubbish every week. It's just silver for me at this point, and but I have to say I don't think I could put them that far apart. Honestly, I feel like they're both really bad in certain ways. I don't know why I said 80. I really don't.
I mean, if you like it, you like it, you know?
Do you know, it's that thing that I do every day, and I do actually enjoy using my tokens every day. But that's just like a personal thing. But I feel like on a tier list, I don't think A should be it, honestly.
Okay.
You're right. All right, I'm going to throw an S tier into the mix and counter this if you disagree. I think Faction Wars needs an S tier.
I agree.
Yeah? I think it's free resources every day. It's something to strive towards. You get amazing rewards on the way with like ancient shards and all of this stuff. You get Liddy the Death Siren, one of the best free champions in this game. That's great for everywhere. And then it's something that you can use every single day and have a reason for your dupe champions. So if you've maxed up champs and you don't use them anymore, you've still got to use them somewhere else, right? And also great for CVC points. And I feel like it is a pretty tough thing for players to do, but not too tough that is uncompletable. What do you think?
Yeah. 100% agree. Yeah. Like, and you use so many champions that you wouldn't use otherwise. Yeah, build fun teams. I love Faction Wars. I'm sad I'm done with it, you know?
Well, we're not done with it yet. We've got the Sylvan Watchers coming.
Well, that's true. That's true. But I mean, like, once you're end game, it's super easy, right? You've got the gear. You just smash it. But like, yeah, progressing through Faction Wars is one of the most fun things in the game. Like that and Doom Tower were two of the biggest things going through. And I really enjoyed progressing Hydra as well. Yeah, so yeah, they're huge.
I'm gonna throw another S tier up here just to kind of speed up a little bit. I'm gonna put Demon Door Clan Boss. The reason behind it is I feel like it's very, very unique in the way that you're speed tuning. There's so many possibilities. It keeps the thing fresh for players. And the rewards every day are the best rewards in this game. And it's unarguable. It's one of the best places to farm your books. The only place to get sacred shards with RNG. You're getting silver. You're getting not accessories. You're getting gear artifacts. You're getting brews, you're getting everything you need, right? From just doing something with free resources every day. And I feel like it's one of the staples of this game, honestly. Not just because I love Clan Boss. I just feel like it's... Do you know what? I'm going to put it personally... Wait, let's just switch this around. I put Forge here. I would honestly do, like, probably like this. What do you think?
Personally, I'd put it probably A tier, personally.
Really?
Yeah, just because I think progressing through it is really cool. I think that's fantastic and clearly one of the most beloved parts of the game. I do think once you've beaten it, it's kind of boring. Like for me, for 20, like if we're talking about 2022, what has my 2022 clan boss been? It's been click go every day, like 2-3 times a day probably. I usually skip the fourth key. I just click auto and I leave my phone running or my PC running.
Yeah.
Like click that a few times and it has to run for like what, half an hour or something. Just half an hour of the day it's running, zero interaction. So that's what I don't like about it.
Don't worry, I'll help you make a new clan boss team. We'll cut that in half for you.
Well, no, my clan boss team's really quick. Like I just run Bat Eater, it's really fast. But like I'm talking about the 3 runs together. Like it's half hour of the day, whatever. It's just boring.
I don't know. I feel like because if we didn't have clan boss, how many shards did you have now? Be honest.
Almost none. Yeah, very few. Yes. I'd have the Doom Tower ones.
That's why I feel I have to disagree, honestly. And it's not obviously it might be a little bit boring to some players that just care about making a team or whatever. But I feel like I feel like the reward value has to keep this an S because this game is so hard to get books. And where else are we getting them, right? We get a couple from Doom Tower every couple months. And that's it. Like, you're relying on the Demon or Clan boss to come through with RNG every single day. And I feel like if we don't have this game mode, free-to-play players are going to give up. Honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. So I feel like for free-to-play and accessibility, no resources, do you know what? It's a weird one. I feel like I'd put Hydra in S tier.
You can if you want. I won't fight you on that.
Do you know what? I do. I strongly believe that these two... Because they don't take resources, and I feel like that holds a value. And I feel like that's kind of the theme with everything in the S tier. That it doesn't need energy, and you don't need silver, and stuff like that to...
Yeah.
Right? Well, you do a bit for the Forge, but I feel like that's fair, honestly.
Yeah. Like, what the only thing I'd love the rewards from Demon Lord Clan Boss. I wonder if Plarium regrets them. But
yeah,
I mean, what I'll say is like if they added in a thing, it was like once you've beaten it like one key 100 times, you can just click and it auto completes, and you don't have to do it. Like I wouldn't complain. You know?
I always said that if you do, I feel like it should be your highest key on one difficulty. So if you get 80 million on Ultra Nightmare, you can get 80 million on every other difficulty as long as you got the keys.
That would be great. Oh yeah, just autocomplete.
But I feel like it should be the thing similar to how the Doom Tower was, where you have to complete it once, like when you first do it, and then the rest of your keys. So that way it still keeps you in the game for them and their metrics or whatever. but then
Mm.
you're able to complete every other clan boss with that same damage. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So next up, we're going to talk about gear. This is gear in general, not including the forge. We're talking about accessible ones from farming.
Are we going to include Ascension in this? I know you mentioned it briefly already.
I guess no. I'd say just like gear sets in general. Just like, well, I guess you can include everything, right? Accessories, forge materials, anything. Just gears in this game. Are you a fan of them? Are you a fan of the amount that we can have? Like with the inventory and stuff like that.
I'd be bold. I'd probably put gear up in S, to be honest.
S tier, yeah.
Not saying it's without flaws. I think there's definitely like a lot of flaws with it. There's a lot of improvements that can be made, but I think it's one of the best things about this game that has continued to be true is how all the different builds you can do with champions, customizing them. I think it's one of the biggest strengths of the game, right?
Yeah.
Just the sheer amount of customization you can have, the different builds you can make, the different gear sets that allow that to happen. All the stats. I think it's done really well.
I strongly agree with that because I feel like gear sets are very, very customizable, and you don't have to feel like if you don't have the same gear as somebody else that you can't build the same champion. Of course, you can have less stats than other players may have, but you can still have a lot of fun in your own personal ways. And you got like lifesteal, we got stone skin for arena, we got perception, accuracy stats, speed stats, and there's just so many fun ways to build champions, and it keeps it fresh, right? So
yeah,
I feel like without gear. There's pretty much. The only downside would be there's too many artifacts and there's not enough space.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, why can't we have that much space? It doesn't make any sense to me, right? Like, what's a player gonna gain from having more gear on their account? You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah. I definitely agree. I'd say my other downside is they've added a lot of really cool gear sets this year. Like Stone Skin, I think has been really cool. I know people hate it. I really like Stone Skin. Maybe out there. I think Protection has been a bit underwhelming, and then I think the Forge Pass sets have been really cool, but you gotta pay to get them.
Yep.
It's not super expensive. Like, if that's the only thing you're buying every couple of months, or maybe once every 3 or 4 months, not that bad compared to just buying games in general. But still, it is a paid thing. I'd like to see another source of those gear sets for free to play, so you can actually build proper, 6-star sets from it. So that would be my own criticism. They're fun sets. They're really cool, but they're too limited. Yeah,
I agree. All right. Next up, we're gonna go into the Tavern. Where would you place this? So we're talking about everything in the Tavern here. So we're talking about ascensions, potions, and the way that it's formatted. I know that they've made a lot of quality life improvements with the way it was really clunky before. So I feel like when you're doing like champion training events and stuff, it's definitely a lot easier. And all of that stuff.
I would probably still put it in B. I think there's still a lot of quality of life that can come.
Okay.
Like in particular, churning through like your 1-star champions is really annoying.
I feel like you should be able to turn any champions into chickens.
100%.
I don't feel like, because loads of times you're summoning shards, you don't have space, and you're feeding rares into epics. I feel like there should be a way to transfer them into chickens, so in the future we can actually use those champions as food for champion training tournaments.
100% agree.
I feel like that should definitely be in the game, especially with the amount of champions we got now as well.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you could like set it as well, automate some stuff, like you pull shards and it just auto turns like the commons or the uncommons into chickens, like a higher tier chicken, like whatever. Sacrifice 10 commons to make 1 2-star chicken, an uncommon chicken, automatically. That would be great.
Yeah. All right, so we're into the final 5.
Ooh.
Let it rip. I don't know if you can see everything. There we go.
I can't. I want the one that's behind you that I can't see at all. Okay. Whatever that mystery is.
It's the Guardian Ring.
Ooh.
So Guardian Ring, we're talking about token traders. We're talking about sparring pits. We're talking about, what else is in there? I can't remember.
The Faction Guardians.
Empowerments. Yep.
Yeah. Unbinding champions.
I'm going to say what I think. I think A. But where do you think?
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a tricky one to rank, isn't it? Because I feel like those different interior things, I'd rank them so differently.
Yeah.
Like for me, like Faction Guardians, I'd actually probably put as an S tier thing, Faction
Yeah.
Guardians specifically.
Hmm.
But then like the Token Trader, I put in the F tier. So I'm
Yeah.
like, how do I rank the thing overall? I feel like that's difficult. I think
Well,
A
I
is
think
probably,
look at it as like a
yeah,
hub, right? Like when we look at the
yeah,
Tavern, we thought a B, right? I feel
yeah,
like when you look at the Guardian Ring, what do you think? Do you feel like
yeah.
I think
I think A. Yeah,
yeah?
I'd say A.
I think
Yeah,
it's a pretty
but
cool thing. I like for me, I hate the sparring pit. I've still never done it. I think the token
oh,
trader
really?
is decent, but too expensive and not on rotation because we just have the
Yeah.
same champions. But I feel like it's got a
Mm,
lot of potential, so it's not an S tier for me. But there's loads of things in there that I really do enjoy in this game. So
yeah.
yeah, it's just what I feel. I feel like it's a good addition to what the sparring pit once was, right?
Yeah, like I think it did succeed at least in the goal of making like duplicate champions not just a colossal disappointment. Like it can
Yeah.
still be disappointing, but at least now you're like, oh, Faction Guardians is progressing later in the
100%.
game.
Like even me, I pulled
yeah.
I did well, I didn't do a shard pull video. I did a video yesterday for like my favorite champions from each faction, right? And I pulled one ancient shard at the end and pulled a legendary. Do you want to guess what it was?
Ah.
You want to guess?
Ooh, guess. Let me think. I'm gonna get Kingarog.
No.
Princess
You,
Garog.
you could, that's a good guess, but it was another Grohawk the Bloodied, right? And
Ah, close.
it could have been a Ragash because it was 10x.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh damn, Grohawk the Bloodied. Oh wait, Faction Guardians. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of why I like the Guardian Ring. It makes you feel good about your bad pulls in a way.
Yeah,
So,
no, I agree.
so I feel like it's important, right? Kind of lower the blow, so you don't get.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got 4 left. So we've got Iron Twins Fortress. Are you a fan of this? Where would you rank it? How do you like it?
Oh, that's a tricky one.
I'm gonna say
think
now, I love Iron Twins. All right,
Okay.
personally, but I don't think it deserves any more than a C tier. That's just my personal. That's just my
because
personal
the
standpoint.
rewards.
I think no. I think it's boring.
Okay.
Like, I've not boring for me. Boring for what's the word? Creativity. I feel like it's Geomancer or bust or block damage or bust, and I just feel like there needs to be some more. I feel like it was intended to be like high resistance, go in of increased accuracy, increased resistance, take down this guy. But it's just not the. It's not the case because there's no speed farming methods apart from Geomancer who bypasses the passive, and then Geomancer again, but with a block damage team.
I know.
It's
right?
like there's no way. There's no way as of now, unless you've got multiple 6-star Brimstone champions to speed farm this thing. And I feel like that's not. It has a lot of potential. I love the way the boss looks. I love farming it. I enjoy watching it with a Geomancer, but without a Geomancer, I'm not enjoying this thing, man. So I don't know.
You know what? That's a really good point. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think CC is fair, and like especially when you start to consider
hard,
the rewards.
Honestly, it's hard for me to say that. It's hard for me to say that because I really do like it, but I feel like it does need a tweak in 2023 to make it accessible to all players. I like even stuff with like Bommal, right? We come up with these fun teams, and you know, there's none of that. Like, have you ever seen a team that's speed farming without a Geomancer?
No.
Exactly.
No,
or like an enemy max HP / block damage. It's just like, come on, man. I mean,
yeah, that's a really good point. Like I do like the boss. I think it's straightforward and intuitive.
Yeah,
mostly the passive with the cleansing stuff is the thing that maybe I don't like. But
you mean the 40% threshold when he whacks you?
No, I like that. I think that's cool. I think it's like, whenever you push him past certain damage thresholds, he cleanses his debuffs.
Oh yeah, I feel like that needs to change. Annoying. That needs to change. Yeah. Or what they should do is they should make this a boss where it bypasses with something else. I'm not sure what. What other debuffs are there that I can think of? Maybe if you bypass it with max HP, that he doesn't do it, and it could give
make bombs as well.
Yeah, even bombs. Yeah, bombs would be a strong one. I feel like that could be a really cool thing, right? Like just because we got the sleep debuff for the Sand Devils, we need to like spice it up a little bit, I think. But there we go. All right, so we're down to the final 3. So we're talking about index and champions. So this is every champion in the game. We're talking about artwork. We're talking about the way they look, the factions, the way they're broken up. Are you a fan? Where would you place it?
I am a fan. It's probably got to be S tier, right? A or S? I feel. You're leaning more towards A?
I'm gonna say a top of A. I'll go in the middle with you. I think there's. I feel like. Do you know what it is? I love the artwork, right? I love the champions. I love the kits. I don't know if there's too many champions, but I think the only reason I'm thinking of that is 10x events. And every single time we're doing a 10x event, they're bringing out... No, do you know what it is? I feel like they're bringing out too many champions in each patch. It's like 10 champions, 10 champions, 10 champions. I feel like it's getting to a point where it's too many and then players can't summon the champions that they really want. Like, if we wanted to summon a Duchess 2 years ago, it's 10 times easier than it is now. So I feel like it's a plus to have so many champions, and they're really fun to look at. But in hindsight, do you think like it's too many every patch?
Yeah, arguably, yeah. I think that's a very fair argument. Yeah, they add so many champions. Some of them are definitely fairly filler as well. Like they're cool, they're fine, but they're not really exciting. Yeah, I think it's kind of just a problem with the game that I feel like it's really difficult to fix.
Do you know what it is? I feel like they're so focused on the portal, which is right next to this, and people have got all the champions, they want you to summon more. So they're just pumping in these champs, and then it's like, when does it stop, right? Like, we just got the fusion for Nishak Verminlord, and instead of just throwing a few champions in, they've thrown in like 10, right? So, like, I love it. Like, when we first see it, like, oh, this champion's sick, I'm going to use him here. But I don't know. I feel like it needs to... Or if they're not going to change the amount of champions, change the odds on events or something. Because it needs to change. And another thing I would like to see is, I feel like there's not enough good rare champions coming into the game. Like, where's the Apothecary V2s? Where's the Cold Hearts? Where's the Bellows? When was the last time we seen a game-changing rare for players? I can't even remember the last time I used a rare book, honestly. So,
that's true.
I feel like the last rare that we had that was good was a Prosecutor, in my opinion.
Yes, I think Pathfinder Kate, I think the Sylvan Watcher rare is actually really good.
Where do you use it apart from Faction Wars?
You can use her in Secret Rooms in Doom Tower. She's quite strong there. But like you said, I mean, she's not really going to be that crazy game changing for most people, right? And there's alternatives you can use that are
would you
just as good.
Like, do you know, like with stuff like Cold Hearts and stuff, you would actually max them over an epic. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
there's nothing like that.
You wouldn't. There's not been nothing like that since like 2 years ago, in my opinion, or like a year ago. Yeah. So I feel like it's small little things, but I think top of 8. I don't think S tier as of now, honestly.
Okay, yeah.
But I can move it up if you want me to. I can move it up. I'm just trying to balance the board a little bit, so it's.
Yeah, well, we can rearrange stuff when we're done. We have one more to go.
We got 2 more. We got clan versus clan and clan quest and clan shop. So 2 separate things.
Spicy stuff. Okay.
So we do clan quest first.
Okay, clan quest and clan shop. I think that's an A. I think.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I think it's good. You know, it's they're not the most exciting things, but you know, little sort of tasks every week. I think the clan shop is great. Actually, I really like that.
I like it. It's on a good rotation, right? As far as I'm aware, you get void shards. I think they're pretty reasonable. I think was it a void shard for 900?
Yeah, it's not bad.
I think when you consider your Hydra boss, you consider your clan stuff. If you're doing your quests, you actually get quite a lot. Like right now, I buy stuff every week, and I've got 20k.
Yeah,
to splash. So, and it's not like it's not something that you can whale out on, right? It's something you have to earn. So I'm always a fan of stuff that you're earning and you're working towards. And I feel like there's not trash stuff in there. So yeah, I agree, man.
Yeah,
I think I'd put it like above Guardian Ring, honestly.
Yeah, I'd probably put it pretty high up there. Like I said, the clan shop is great. Yeah, I think it's really good.
Yeah, really nice. All right, down to the final one. We got this on right now.
Yes, we do. This is a spicy one as well.
All right, I'm going to take you up the board because I feel like I'm swaying your opinion a little bit. I'm just going to hold it up here. So,
it's defaulting into...
Okay, I'm putting it down here.
I can't do it.
I can't put it down there. All right, there we go.
All right. Oh, man. Do I have to answer first on this one?
Oh, yes, of course. You're the guest. That would be rude.
Oh, God. I feel like, again, this is another really controversial one.
But you have to factor in personal rewards, everything to do with like the whole feature as itself. Like, how would you rank it for...
I would probably put it in C overall. I'm gonna be pretty harsh. I do actually find it fun, but what I find most fun is like going onto the clan Discord outside of the game and chatting with the guys there and the strategies and stuff. That's actually quite fun and enjoyable. But I think for a lot of players, you don't really enjoy it. Like there's not going to be that structure to the clan. It can be frustrating. There's a whole lot of really dumb gaming the system that goes on.
Yeah.
There's not really that much fun gameplay. It's mostly just a grind off or a spend off.
Yes.
So I think it's a cool thing to have in a game. Clan v Clan is cool. I'd rather have it than not have it, even as it is now. But there's so much better that they could do with it.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the rewards, like the normal rewards are okay. We get some decent stuff. Yeah. Personal rewards are trash. It's like I honestly don't understand why anybody pushes for personal rewards. Honestly, I don't understand it. It's like
tier 6 is good.
no, but the amount of
But-
but if you think about the amount of stuff you're putting in to get what you're getting back, it does not match up, guys. Honestly,
No.
think about the amount of books you're putting in, and then you get like one book back, right? In like the Master Rewards. It's
right.
It's like why?
Spend 20 bucks, get one back.
Yeah, but that's how it feels, honestly, for me.
Yeah.
It's like you get one void shard at the end, you get an extra piece of gear, you get an epic tome, and it's like you've just pumped like 20 legendary tomes in. You've pumped in like all of this energy and farming spider overnight, and my gosh, man. For me personally, I look forward to it because what I do is I save up my resources every 2 weeks. We do a CVC stream, just like Nub Raids. Catch them over on YouTube/Nub Raids every Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, it's an enjoyable time, I guess, but in terms of the game mode, it's not for me. I think it's not clan versus clan, it's just who's got the most resources, the CVC. So
yeah, that's fair.
I think C. I think it's good to hold a few resources and get something back for them. I like that. You know, you don't feel like you're getting nothing for what you're using. So yeah, C tier. So all right, that was it. That was everything in the game. I'm not sure if we missed anything else out. I feel like this was everything covered. But this is just the final thing here. I'm going to give you 60 seconds to swap around whatever you feel should be moved to try and balance this out. Now, I think we can make an even board going down here. We don't have to, but
you don't have to do an even board.
So, but would you switch any of them around in terms of orders or anything like that? So I'll leave it to you, and I'll just agree with it if I do.
Oh my god. Okay. Geez. All right. Let me think here.
So we go S tier first, and we'll just
So like Doom Tower, Faction Wars, Forge, I think are great in S tier. I guess you could leave the 2 clan bosses up there too. It's fine. I think you could probably move gear down just because of the limited slots, and I do think that the new gear sets being sort of locked. I think it's fair if that is in A tier. It's a great part of the game, but the
top of the A. Top of A.
Yeah, and like there's definitely some outdated gear sets that should be buffed and updated. A tier looks good. The Index, dungeons, Portal, fine. Mines, the Clan Shop, yes.
Would you leave it in that order?
I'd move the Clan Quest higher.
Okay. So above
I'd
Portal?
put them above Portal I'd probably put them equal to Portal for Clan Shop. Yeah.
Okay.
Up to you. And dungeons are good. Yeah, I think the A tier looks pretty solid.
Okay.
B tier. You could move some stuff down from B tier if you wanted.
Okay, do you know what? Honestly, I'm going to put Classic Arena down here into the top of the thing. But what I'm going to do is
put tag down as well.
I feel like tag. The way that you broke it down to me is a way that I never thought of it before. So I actually feel like there is some sort of competitive nature and brain power that goes into tag team. Whereas with Classic Arena, it's just, unless you're playing in Platinum, it's very one-sided and you're just using the same teams over and over again.
Yeah.
I'd
move Guardian Ring to the top of B, and I would move Tag to the top of C.
Okay, so you do this.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah.
Okay, and shall we move clans down? I think it should be an F tier, honestly. I feel like there's no clan orientation in there. So we're not talking about the clan shop because we've done the clan shop and clan quests. We're talking about just clan features, and as of now, there's no way to interact with our clans, right?
Yeah, that's a tricky. Yeah, I guess you could put it in F. It's kind of tricky because we separated those bits out. Yeah, you could put it in F, sure.
Yeah, I wanted to separate because I feel like that's like a separate way. It's kind of clan, but it's not like you're doing stuff with your clan. So we haven't got like our own separate tournaments, our own seperate game modes. It's just there's no nature of clans, and I would love to see a huge increase to that in 2023. Honestly.
Yeah.
Anything you would change from the C tier in terms of order? I think maybe Iron Twins above clan versus clan. Honestly.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. Yeah. I think it's probably fine like that. We don't need to overthink it too much more. I just don't like that. It's nicely balanced, right?
Yeah, it's just supposed to be
quite balanced.
I just do it. I looked, I was like, which tier list hasn't been done yet? And I thought this would be a really cool one to wrap up the end of the year because we've had so many additions to the game, like Hydra bosses come in and like the additions of new bosses and dungeons and clan versus clans. There's just been so many things that's just come in, right? So,
yeah, there we go.
There we go. Thank you so much for coming on today for the final collab of 2022.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was a great one.
Yeah, and guys, we are actually going to head over to Nub's channel to do, drum roll please,
we are going to talk about our top 3 favorite videos that we made each this year. So just looking back at our year and sort of like celebrating the stuff that we are proud of making. So
Yeah. So something less heartened than this one. There we go. Love just blew me out the park there. Yeah, but guys, come check us out over there because I think that will be a lot of fun to kind of do an end of year wrap up. As we're both going to be taking a kind of half break-ish, right? You're taking a break. I'm going to be a bit less interactive towards the new year as well, just with the Christmas and stuff. So just thought we'd have this last collab. But make sure you guys go drop him a sub. Let's get him to like, I don't know, 100,000. I'm nearly at 20k, but we're going to get 100,000. There we go.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. We'll catch you guys in the next one, and peace.